Hello, everyone, and welcome to 100% You, a podcast which is all about discovering who you're truly meant to be and becoming the best version of yourself. I'm your host, Bari, and today's episode, we're going to talk about not taking things personally. This is something that I've been wanting to talk for a really long time, as probably every episode I'm saying this, but not taking things personally, I believe, is one of the superpowers you can have. Once you master it and you understand the meaning behind it, why you should not take things personally, and you actually implement it into your life, I promise you it will make your life so much better. So, first of all, I just want to have some overview about what I'm about to talk. So, I personally believe that everything is happening for your highest self. Not only that it happens for a reason, but I truly believe that everything that is happening to us is for a highest self. I believe that we came into this world in order to evolve. And if we are having some kind of challenges, we have some kind of uncomfortable in our lives situations. Everything is for a higher self. It is something that we needed to go through for some kind of reason that we might not know. It can be something that we might know in the future, the reason for it. And sometimes it can be even things that we're going through, and maybe our soul need to go through those kind of stuff. And until we die, we'll never know them, what was the reason behind them. So that's my belief and take on everything that is happening in our life. I always believe that it is for a higher self. And when we talk about things of not taking things personally, I think that this is the core thing that we need to understand, that everything is happening for a highest self. Now, the topic of not taking things personally, I started to actually find it interesting a few years ago when I read the first time the book The Four Agreements, which is really popular book, and probably most of you read it or not, but it's a very popular book that a lot of people read. And one of the agreements there is not taking things personally. I remember at the beginning when I read it, I did not really find it relatable. I did not understand what's the meaning behind it. I did think a lot about it, but it took me time. It took me a few weeks to actually understand the truth and meaning behind not taking things personally. And once I start to implement this in my life, I'm telling you, my life improves significantly in every area of my life. And let's go back for a second. So, as I said, everything is happening for a higher self. That's the baseline that I want to start with. If you don't believe in this, this is okay. I hope until the end of the video you will believe in it. But that's my take on this reality, on this life, and this is where I'm coming from. So I believe everything is for a higher self. Therefore, no matter what happens for me, no matter how hard it is, no matter how challenging, no matter how uncomfortable, this is probably something I need to go through. And I personally believe that the faster I will go through this uncomfortable things, the challenges, the faster the reward that I want, I will get it. That's why many times that I have challenges in my own life, although I really don't want to go through them, I understand that I have to do them. I remember a few years ago, I had a really big challenge in my life, and I just felt that emotionally and spiritually, I'm not ready to go through it. And I knew that this will happen again in my life. And it happened. It happened 2 years later. So the faster we will go through and push through the challenges, the hard times, the uncomfortable situations, the faster we will get the rewards. That's my belief on that. Now, let's go deep into the not taking things personally. When I say not taking things personally, it can be from situations, from people, from your friends, from your family, from your coworkers, from your boss, from things that happen in your life. Maybe you believe in God and something happened and you just take it personally. So it can be anything that you have a relationship with. It can be your dog, it can be your cat, anything that has some kind of a relationship. And I will take it to a different route for a second. I'm sure you had in your life some kind of a moment. I had it for sure many times in my life that I said something that I didn't really wanted to say, but something just pushed it out of my mouth and I said it to a person, to a friend, to a family member, to coworker sometimes, and it's very rarely happens to me, but sometimes when you have this lack of tact, like you're saying something that maybe you're not really meant to say it. Maybe if you were really aware of what you're saying, you wouldn't say it because it's offensive. It might be, stupid. It might be not the right way to approach the situation, but you still said it. And maybe even after you said it, you feel very bad with yourself. And maybe you don't, but maybe the other side felt very upset from what you said or what you did. And I will talk about the situation that you did something and said something, although you knew it wasn't the right thing, but it just like came out of you. And then you felt very bad of saying this. So this kind of situation, if let's say you're a perfect person, okay, sometimes those situations can happen to you. You can or act physically, do something. Maybe you didn't look at the eyes of your partner when usually you are looking at their eyes. Something that happened that wasn't your, I would say, you didn't do it with full awareness, but it happened and you did it. So I believe when those kind of things happen, you are a messenger for this person, especially if there's some kind of resistance or discomfort in the situation. What does it mean? So let's say told my friend, I think you deserve better, okay? And let's say I felt that it will be the wrong thing to say. I felt that if I'll say it, it will break her, but something just came out of me and I said it, and I felt very bad after it, and maybe she got upset after it, and maybe she didn't want to talk to me. The moment I said something without thinking and it just came out of me, I'm not saying you should just say things without thinking, but sometimes those things are a messenger, because as I said, everything, in my opinion, everything happens for your highest self. Now, we are all, another core thing that I want to touch is that we are all connected. So if we are all connected, that means that the situation that happens in our life, everything is connected. Maybe I'm doing right now something that will impact someone else, and it will impact this person and this person. And it's a huge cosmic connection between all of us. So when there's something energetically that needs to happen, if this person cannot do something or go through something just by himself, sometimes the universe, God, whatever you believe in, will send messengers to basically push that person to the right direction. And sometimes those messengers can be you, your friends, your family members, your teacher, your dog, anything. And I can tell you about myself that sometimes I have conversation with my parents and I know they love me and I know they want for the best for me, but sometimes they tell me things that I just know that they were not in full awareness when they said it. And in the past, I used to take it very personally, like they don't love me, I don't know, they don't want the best for me. But when I started to grow up, I realized, okay, this is probably something that I need to hear. They might not be in a situation where they want to come and apologize, but whatever been said, that's probably something I need to go through. And sometimes you go through stuff with people around you that you really don't want to go through, a situation, an action that a person did to you, a comment that a person did to you. And everything that you get, you need to understand this is for a reason. Sometimes you will get a comment from a person that is very close to you. You love them so much, and maybe the comment they made is very hurtful, but maybe this is something that will help you to get to this higher purpose that you need. And specifically, this person, because you love them so much, it was so hurtful that they needed to be the messenger. So I believe that all of us are messengers, and everything around us is, as I said, connected. And therefore, sometimes we get situation in our life, we get certain people, certain comments, certain words that we don't really want to hear or to have, but they came into our life for a purpose. That's why if a friend going to tell me something, and let's say I want to post something on social media, this is like the most simple example, okay? Let's say I want to post something on social media, and my friend told me, I don't think this is a really good picture of you. Now, I think that I look very good on this picture. So I felt a little bit offended maybe, and I took it personally that she said it. Now, there's a few situations here. First, I can take it personally, as I said, and think, oh, she don't want for my best. Maybe she's jealous of me. Maybe she's blah, 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 blah. But on the other hand, if we look at this from what is the higher purpose in this, she was just the messenger. Maybe after she said it, she felt bad. Maybe I posted it and then she felt bad because this post exploded or whatever and went viral. So maybe she will feel bad after that. But she was just the messenger. So the other side of, if I don't take it personally and I look at the situation, okay, why is she telling me not post it? Maybe it's really for my best not to post it, but maybe my lesson here is to be independent and decide myself whether I want to post something and do something although it maybe will not look the best and it's weird or cringe or whatever. So another thing is that many times people tell us things when they're inside their own shoes and they trying to look at our life from their own point of view, which is limited to what we experience and what we have, which is also okay. So there's also a part of this. Therefore, when someone tells you something that is not his expertise, you need to be very careful and cautious, not taking what he said as 100% truth, and be aware of it and understand that from his point of view, from his shoes, this is the best that this person knows and he wants the best for you. Okay? Or he tells you something from what he experienced or she experienced, and this is what worked for them or didn't work from them. So they just trying to help you in their way. So taking these things personally when someone is not doing what you would expect them to do is basically saying that I do believe we are all equal, but it's saying that we are all the same in terms of I'm Bari, you are whatever your name. And we are built from the same thoughts, experience, behaviors, feelings, emotion, from the same things. We've been through the same stuff. And it just never can be true because each one of us is different. We grow up in different environments, different places, different times. Each one of us experience different things. Maybe we have similar things in our life. That can be a thing. But in general, there's no one that is exactly like you. So if someone is telling you something, they're telling you it from their own perspective, from their own experience, from their own life. So you also need to remember this. But let's go back for what I was talking before that. So people are here, situations are here sometimes to be the messenger for you so you can evolve, so you can grow. Maybe your parent told you something that feels very uncomfortable, but he was the messenger to tell you something much bigger that you needed to go through. Maybe your partner told you something that he might felt at 2 seconds later that it wasn't the right wording to say, but it hit you really hard. And instead of taking personally what this person told you, just understand that if it was very hard for you to hear it or to experience the situation, there's probably something here that this person was just the pipe to get you the message that you needed to hear. And sometimes it's hard to not take things personally when it's people we really love. But you need to understand that behind everything that is, I would say, dark, it's like challenge, everything that is more on the dark side, challenges, uncomfortable situations, pain, everything related to darkness is something that you needed to get in order to expose more light in your life. And sometimes a person is being chosen to be that accelerator for you to expose this light. That's why when things happen that are painful, hurtful from people you actually love, I started to be grateful for that situation instead of taking the things personally. And I can give you another example from something I had recently. A really, really good friend of mine. We became friends recently and we became very fast, close friends. And after I launched my podcast, she did not text me, did not call me, nothing. And when I launched the podcast, I did some kind of pre-lunch for my friends. So everyone knew I'm going to do something. And 30 minutes before the lunch, I sent a message to all my close friends and told them this is what I'm doing. I really would love you to know that first because I love you guys and everything. And this friend also knew about 2 weeks before that I'm doing something big. I didn't tell her what, but because we were so close and we were talking almost every day, I expected from her to approach me and say congrats or something and just be there as a friend because I know that I would do that. And when I launched the podcast, she didn't wrote anything to me. She didn't call, nothing. And also friends that I had that were very busy at the day of my lunch, they text me at the evening or the day after, or even in the middle of the day, congrats, I'm really proud of you. I'm really busy today. I want to talk to you properly, but I can't right now. So I'm just want to show you that I'm here. Good luck, love you, and that's it. And that friend didn't write me. And the entire day of my launch of the podcast, I actually saw that she was posting bunch of stories and of being at home, and I saw that she saw like only the first story, and then she didn't look at any of my stories. So I know her good enough to know that she just didn't want me to see probably that I saw that she saw seeing my stories. So she probably saw just the first one, but she did see the message that I launched the podcast. She knew about it. And after a few days, I text her like, where are you? I launched a podcast. Why didn't you write me anything? And she didn't respond. And after a few more days, now I knew that she's going through something, but for me, even if I'm going the worst situations in my life, I'll still be there for my friends, even if it's just for one message and say, hey, I'm really proud of you. I want to talk to you, but I'll do it like in a few days. And I did it. And I had friends that did it. So I know that I'm the type of friend that no matter how hard it is will be for me, I might not be there fully, but I will be there even for this text message, for this phone call. And this is what I expect from my friends because I wish for myself a very successful future. And if someone cannot handle the things that I want to achieve and be there and cheer when I need it, I don't want them in my life. And this was really hard for me. So what happened next is that after a few days, I called her. She didn't answer. I called her twice. I was like, this is like the ultimatum. If she's not answering, I don't really want to be her friend because this is something really big that I did. And if she's not there, she's not a real friend. I still love her, but that's not the kind of friendship I want. And I didn't talk to her for like 3 weeks, 1 month. And still up until today, 3 months later, I did saw her twice or three times. And when I saw her after like a month and a half, I saw her just for a few minutes and I told her, she said hi and was very happy to see me. And I was telling her, why you're so happy? Where were you in the past few weeks? Like, I don't know why are you talking to me? I already decided that she's not my friend. And the thing here is that I want to separate it because I still love her. I still think she will be a very successful woman. I still think she's an amazing girl. I don't take it personally because this was probably a lesson that I need to go through. Like, I know her good enough to know why she did it. I know her good enough to understand the situation. I'm not taking it personally because I understand that this is a lesson that I needed to go through, and she was just a messenger. The lesson that I need to go through is to understand what type of people I want in my life because I'm the type of person that has friends. I have friends from kindergarten, I have friends from all walks of life, from school, from everywhere. Every place I go, I collect friends, and it's really hard for me to let go of friends. And I did cut a few friends from my life throughout the years. I think I cut only like 3 or 4 friends through my entire last decade. And if I cut someone from my life, this is a person I definitely don't want to be friends with. But otherwise, I can be friends with people that I didn't talk to for 3 years, and then we will talk like nothing happened. Like, I'm that kind of person. So with her, I felt like it was a huge lesson for me to let go and to understand and to raise my standards because I know what type of friend I am. And throughout the few last years, I had a few situations with a few really, really close friends that tested my standards with friendships because I know I will do the extra, extra, extra mile for my friends. But eventually, I expected the same from my friends. And somehow I was fine with not getting this extra, extra, extra mile for my entire high school and a little bit later. And when I started to grow up, I realized this is not something I want in my life. This is not sustainable because I know that I attract people very fast and get to be friends with people very fast. And I want to be selective with the type of people I let in my personal life in a really close way. And those type of people will be the ones that will do the extra, extra mile for me too. That's the type of friends I want. The type of friend that will be there when I have hard challenges, when I have good things happening in my life, because I know I will be like that. So with that friend, as I said, I just didn't take anything personally. I just realized it was painful for me to cut this relationship, this friendship, because I truly love her. I truly love her and I think she's amazing girl, but this is not the standard I want of a friendship. And she was just the messenger because I had a few people before her that tested this lesson that I needed to have. But with her, it was very obvious that this is a test and she's just a messenger. I'm not taking it personally. And also, the time that I call her on the phone and she didn't answer, like, I really truly want to tell her, listen, I'm not taking it personally. I totally understand you, but this is not the standard of friendship I want. If you want to change and work on it, I'm here for you. I'll help you to work through it. But if you don't want to work through it, I'm sorry. I love you, but I don't want to be a friend with you. So people are messengers. You need to remember it. Many times we'll get comments, situations, behaviors from people that will find it painful, will find it uncomfortable. And you just need to remember a few things. First, as I said, everything that has happened is for your highest self because we came here. Our soul came here to evolve. This is the first basic rule that you need to remember. The second thing is that when there is darkness, something painful, something uncomfortable, something that include the opposite of light in your life, this is a good thing because there's something that needs to be exposed. So if there is a challenge, if there is a pain, if you're being hurt from someone, just know that they were the messengers, the people that the universe, God sent to you in order to evolve and be the higher self. And the third thing, as I said, the people and situations are messengers. Now, where people get it wrong is when they try to fight with that and not accept the situation. When there's so many siblings that have between them some kind of fight, some kind of really challenging relationships. Maybe they comment to each other stuff that is inappropriate. Maybe they hurt each other and touch their pain points. I don't know what about you, but I hear about stories sometimes like this with siblings. Thankfully, I have the best brother ever. Thankfully, we never fight. We don't have something to fight for. We have the same mindset, so I'm really appreciative about this. But many people have siblings that they have this uncomfortable situation, challenges, comments, whatever. And instead of accept it and not take it personally and understand that this is probably something they need to go through. And as we talked in previous episode, just to push through it and go through it, go through the pain, go through the uncomfortable situation, what they're doing is fight back, is curse them, is talking shit about them. And instead of taking with two hands this amazing opportunity to evolve as human beings and help also to this person evolve, they're deciding not to do it. And it takes two people to do that. So if it's siblings, of course, both of the siblings need to be on the same page and mindset, but it all starts from someone. And if it's you with your partner, you with your parents, you with your child, you with anyone around you, just remember that they're just the messengers. Sometimes as we do as human beings, sometimes we say stuff that we just feel that it comes through us. So the same is happening to people that interact with us too. Sometimes I say or you say things that if we had just a few more seconds or minutes to think about, we would probably never say it. And we still say it sometimes because it just comes out of our body, out of our mouth, and or behavior that you did that you would probably never do. And of course, it takes also a lot of self-work and development to recognize those situations and maybe stop them. But we all have those situations. So when we have those situations, understand that other people also have the situation when they can say something they did not fully meant to say it and it just came through them. And when other people have it and they have interactions with you, that's where you get hurt. And once you understand this whole thing, how it works, you'll stop take things personally because you will just be grateful of these things that happen to you because they are here to make you evolve. So I hope you enjoyed today's episode. I think it is a very important topic to talk about, specifically, in our world with social media and everything. I believe we're entering the most incredible time in the history. I don't know what about you. I'm very excited for the future. I personally think that a lot of people are going to be awakened and spiritually awakened. And there's going to be really amazing things here. I hope you enjoyed today's episode. I enjoyed it, and I think this is very important topic that once you actually start to put focus on it in your life, you will see changes very fast. Okay, so let's try to be also practical. And I'll give you this assignment. You can try to do it in the upcoming week. Try to notice any situations from people that people interact with you. Of course, it can be their behavior, their maybe mood, energy, it can be their comments and how they speak to you. If there's anything during this week, and in general, I think you should just take it as a challenge. But if there's anything that makes you feel uncomfortable, you should stop. You should stop. And instead of taking it personally, oh, I have another great example. I'll give you just in a second. Instead of taking it personally, just stop and be grateful for it and understand there is something here that wants to be revealed and help you to evolve, help you to become better and better version of yourself. Small example that I'll give you is that, let's say about jealousy, okay? Let's say someone got something that you really felt like you deserve it, and you start taking it personally. Why I didn't have it, why I didn't got it, why this has happened to me. I think I'm better than her. You might not take personally something that someone did to you, but you will take personally the situation, that why this is not happening to me, and you start be jealous at the other person. So again, maybe it's not a person that did something to you, but it's a situation that made you feel uncomfortable. So it's the same thing here. Not taking it personally and understand that there is something here. If you feel jealous about other person doing something, you should stop and understand why it's happening. This is a lesson for you. The lesson might be, and probably if it's jealousy, so jealousy usually show us that there's a desire that we want and we're not fulfilling it. So every emotion, everything that we're having is just a code for something, a lesson that we need to go through. So jealousy, let's say, it's basically shows us that there's a desire that we really want and someone else have it and we don't have it. So we feel this uncomfortable and we might take it personally. I'm not good enough. I'm not that. I'm not, So instead of taking it personally, understand this is something that is for my higher self. And if I have jealousy, this is just a compass for me to go in the right direction and show me the right direction. So I think it was also a good example. If there's anything you would like me to talk about, any questions you have, any comments, I would love to hear your voice too. So feel free to comment wherever you're listening, if it's on YouTube, if it's Spotify, Apple Podcasts, if you got to this podcast for social media. I would love to hear your comments. Also, if you're not subscribed to any of the platforms where you listen to this podcast, I would really appreciate if you can subscribe, rate this podcast. It will really help me grow and get to much wider audience. So thank you so much for staying here, and I'll see you next week. Bye.